Hello, everybody. Oh, my chair is very creaky today. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Sam Tom here. As you can probably tell, I have not yet regained my voice. Oh, my camera's crooked. And I still have to teach today. So the camera's just going to be crooked. I'm sorry. So we're going to try to get through this quickly. We're talking about Invisible Man, 1933. This chair is so creaky. I need a new chair. So we're going to compare 4 different Invisible Man movies. And the main thing we're going to compare, inspired by Nando V Movies, his podcast, Mostly Nitpicking, when this film came out, they got into a very heated debate about how easy it would be to fight an Invisible Man. So that's really how we're going to compare them as we go along. But I do have some notes about this one. I'm going to skip a lot of them because I don't want to talk very much because I have no voice. The effects of this, I had never seen this before, this 1933 one. The effects of this, I thought, were surprisingly good in some to most of the scenes. There are some where it's really not great, but for being almost 100 years old, I was pretty pleasantly surprised. Oh, look, men harassing women. That's gonna be a theme in some of these movies. I've seen them all at least once at this point. I have not rewatched this one, but man, when we get to that one, we're gonna talk about that more. And it's not great, but it's realistic, isn't it? That if a man was invisible, one of the first things he would do is harass women. My next note. Oh, look, women screaming their lungs out. I've talked about this so many times before. And apparently, according to the IMDb trivia, which apparently comes from the making of featurette that's on the DVD, because I watched that too and it said the same thing. Apparently, the director thought that actress was so hilarious when she just screamed her guts out. He kept having to restart because he was laughing so hard. And man, you got a different sense of humor than me, dude. Because to me, people just screaming for no reason is not humor. But to each their own. I just don't really like that. Somebody said they'll never catch him in 1,000 years. You're giving up very, very quickly. So he easily defeats 4 dudes, like pretty much right away. And this is where we're gonna get into like how easy would it be to fight this guy, because he beats up a lot of dudes in this movie. And by beats up, I mean he just chokes people. It's all he does. He just walks up and he strangles them. And nobody in any scene in this movie when they're getting choked by an invisible man, nobody like tries to break his arm contact off. Nobody tries to push or shove or kick him, because he's right in front of you. And people just stand there kind of wriggling about while he strangles them. So everyone in this movie is an idiot. Excuse me. At one point, he says to someone else while he's threatening them, "I'm strong and I'll strangle you." So I kind of thought, did he gain increased strength by using the serum? But no, that's never explained, and we never see him use increased strength for anything else. So I think he's just, because he's going crazy, right? That's clearly happening. So I think he just thinks he's stronger, and that's why he's just going up and strangling everyone, and nobody ever fights back, even a little bit. He seems to know his limitations, right? He's talking about how food is still visible for a while. He's talking about how he has to be naked to not be seen, and therefore, since it's winter, he's going to be very cold. So, he knows these things. So I think he'd be good at hiding, but I think he could take it pretty easily. The police are offering rewards for ideas on how to catch him, and there's a line where someone says, I didn't write down the exact lines, but someone says something along the lines of, "Why not cover the roads with tar?" And then you'll see his footprints, and somebody goes, "Because he's too smart for that." And it's like, even if you think that he will recognize that there's tar on the ground and avoid stepping on it, that's still going to limit where he can go, and that's still going to reduce the areas that you have to search at. So it seems like it's still probably a good idea. At no point does anybody suggest the first thing you do if you have an Invisible Man situation is you get a bag of flour, right? And you throw that crap all over the floor. You keep some with you so that you can just throw it randomly. Get a couple bags of flour, right? Something like sand could also work, but flour kind of like billows and lingers. So yeah, just get some flour. That's gonna help you out so much. That doesn't happen in most of these movies. Modern times, right? If we're in like an industrial building, and that'll come back in another movie. Get those sprinklers going, right? Start a fire. Get the sprinklers going. That'll help you out. They're talking about these ideas that people have called in, and they said some are clever, some are stupid, all are impossible. Really? Because we didn't hear that many ideas, but all the ideas that we heard were at least somewhat possible, if not plausible. So I don't know what kind of ideas people are coming up with that are deemed impossible. It just seems like one of those lines that they put in is like, no one could think of a way. Oh, yeah, they could, but it wasn't possible. It's like, okay, but I can think of a possible way. So is everyone in your movie an idiot? I don't know what that malign means. Towards the end, they've got him surrounded in a barn, and the doors to the barn open, and like they're planning on burning the bar down to get him out, right? They've already set it on fire, so it's not like they care about the barn. The doors open, and this huge line of like 100-something cops, nobody shoots at him, and like they shoot him later, so it's not like they were avoiding shooting at him, but like when they all know roughly the 6-foot line that he's in, no one shoots at him. That's kind of weird. At one point, when he's explaining everything to the other dude, he says that even the dirt between his fingernails could give him away. So, like, it goes back to what I was saying. He knows his limitations, but, like, you don't have to do much to make this dude visible. Right? If dirt between his fingernails could give him away, if you don't have flour or sand, then, just get a bunch of dust, get a bunch of dirt, throw it around. I mean, chalk would have been common back then. Get some chalk powder all over the place. Like, it's not hard to find out where he is. And because this guy is going insane, and all he does is choke people, just kind of Phantom of the Opera it. Have something to cover your hands so that you can break that grasp. But B, even if you don't, because he's not using a rope, he's just using his hands, if you feel yourself getting strangled, just start punching where a head would be in front of you. Start kicking where a groin would be in front of you, right? Then, presumably he's going to be down. You grab your bag of flour, sprinkle it out, find out where he is, and stomp his face in. So in terms of how easy would this Invisible Man be to fight? Extremely easy. I'm with Nando on this one. I don't know if they're all going to be that easy, but this dude, he's got one move, and nobody thinks to try to counter it. Nobody thinks to try to use anything to find him. So, you just need to do two things. Use flour and break his hold. Break his grasp. And then he's got nothing else. So, we're going to call it there because my voice hurts. Thanks for watching. If you have ideas on how to stop an Invisible Man, let me know in the comments. They might come into play with some of these other ones. That's all I got. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.